Hello YouTube. You're looking at two Dell laptops. So considering a lot of you like my computer videos, obviously, I decided to look on my local Craigslist and see if I could find anything interesting, and I found these. Well, originally it was supposed to be just this one, which is a Dell Inspiron 6000. This laptop was posted originally for $10, so I went to the dude's house anticipating this was going to be about $10, and it was. But he also said he had this one, which is a Dell Inspiron 9200, the bigger 17-inch version, obviously. I believe this is a little newer too, given the 9200 part. But this one, the Inspiron 6000, is fully functional. It's running a flavor of Linux. It's called Zorin OS. I'm not sure if that's actually Linux, but it's some sort. It's got to be Linux, so that's what's on it. I'm not sure of the specifications. I know it's got a Pentium M. The dude said he didn't know how much RAM was in it. Don't know what the hard drive is. We're going to find out all of that today. Of course, I'm probably going to end up installing Windows XP or Windows 7 on this. I haven't decided yet. It really depends on how much RAM it has. Of course, you know, it's not going to be able to support Aero or anything, so that's going to have to be taken into consideration as well. This one is a 9200. Again, I know absolutely nothing about this machine other than the display is cracked. The LCD is cracked, so of course it's not going to display anything. As you may be able to tell, it's destroyed. So this one is going to have to be hooked up to an external monitor. I believe the only monitors I have are these. I don't know. I don't think I have any more monitors over here anymore. So this one may or may not be in tonight's video. This one is probably going to be the star. But of course, these laptops are from 2003 to 2004. They both have wobbly hinges, which is going to be fixed. This one is in pretty bad cosmetic shape. It's really dirty. The dude did say that this one used to be part of a restaurant, so it was used in that environment, and therefore it is very dirty. So we're going to clean that. But as you can see, again, it is in pretty bad shape. It's got some stickers on the keyboard. That'll be fun to remove. Yeah, pretty much. It's got some wear marks here. You can see where someone's thumb was. Or hand, rather. That looks like a burn mark of some sort. That's interesting. Clicky buttons work. The keyboard seems to work. This one works. I believe he said the battery is functional in it as well. Of course, again, the hinges are floppy, so we're going to fix that. It's really easy. You just take this hinge cover off. You guys have seen me do this before years ago, so I'm probably going to do it again. With that said, I think we're going to start with this one. This one is going to require a little bit more effort to showcase, so we'll probably just take a look at this one towards the end of the video. Other than that, I don't really anticipate doing much with this machine. Of course, it needs a new display. I don't really feel like putting in the money for that. If anyone has, you know, a display that'll fit this computer, an Inspiron 9200, let me know. If not, no big deal. Of course, this one does seem to have a rewritable drive, which is cool. What does this one have? That one just has a DVD-ROM, so that's going to be the first swap right there. Looking at the underside of the computer, all of the feet are still here. The battery, does it hold a charge? I guess not. I guess he lied. All the feet are still there, though, which is nice. Here is the RAM, you know, compartment. I believe there are some. It looks like there are some sticks in here. I'll have to see what I have in my reserves. There's a XP Media Center Edition key if y'all want that. I'm never going to use that. So fan looks pretty dirty. That's going to need to be cleaned out as well. Hard drive doesn't have any screws in it, so we can pull it out and look at it. That is a, let's see, it's a WD, oh, 120 gig, huh, not bad. Alright, cool. That's a pretty good start. So, let me go ahead and move this one out of the way, and we'll get to working on this one. I think what I'm going to do first is get it all cleaned up, because, you know, it's really dirty. So, I have some alcohol down there and some tissues, so I'm probably going to get started on that first of all, and I will report back when I start doing that. This one is in a lot better cosmetic shape other than the damaged screen, but you know, again, the screen is broken, so this is going to require more effort to work with. But yeah, let's get started on the Inspiron 6000. Alright, so just some basic progress. That Velcro strip is a pain in the butt to get off, but I did this one leg of the plastic trim, and as you can see, marked improvement from what was there. I haven't touched this one yet, so this is just for comparison's sake. You can see it's very dirty. I also did this front piece right here. Again, for comparison's sake, look there. I'm going to be doing that to the whole machine. I'll try to get these residue marks off the best I can. You know, I'm only gonna do the best I can do. So, of course, taking that into consideration, I'm going to finish, well, not finish, but I'm going to continue working on this, and I will report back in a bit. Alright, so some advancements have been made. I did wipe down the entire exterior. Of course, you know, these are nice and clean now. Well, as clean as they'll get. This, I still need to work on getting off. I will eventually soak this in WD-40. Usually I do scrape it off with a razor, but I don't want to scratch this any more than it's already been scratched. So I'm probably not going to do that. The inside, again, is pretty much the same story. Some improvement has been made. Again, the white edges are pretty clean. I could do a better job because down here, this proves very difficult to clean. I scrubbed the crap out of this and it's still dirty. So I may have to save that for another time. Whoa. Saving, of course, the keyboard it'll happen, but again, these stickers are really difficult to get off. So, yo, bruh, cool it with the VTech. Okay, so these stickers are pretty stubborn to get off, so I'm going to save those for another time. I did clean the screen as good as I can. Okay, there are some streak marks, but it's cleaner than it was. Next, what we're going to do, I'm going to pry this hinge cover off, and we're going to tighten up this hinge a little bit. I might have to tighten these screws as well, because all that's probably loose. The other screws inside this housing are probably also loose. Of course, I had a 1501 back in the day, so I'm pretty familiar with this chassis. So these screws are probably loose too, but I'm going to save those for another time. I'm just going to pop the hinge cover for right now. Alright, so I did forget that on this model you do have to do a complete disassembly to get to the heatsink. Unfortunately, Dell didn't design this machine very well. I know how to do it on this machine because I've torn my 1501 down like 3 or 4 times because I upgraded the CPU twice in it. But I really don't feel like doing that tonight. It does probably need a repaste and a blow out the fan. I could blow out the fan, I think. I think I may have some compressed air still up there. But other than that, I'm not going to do that. As for the hinge, all the slack seems to be in the display itself, so removing this hinge cover didn't really help me too much. So I'm probably just going to put all this back together for now. Alright, so I found my compressed air, and I did give this a spray, so from the top and the bottom with my compressed air can. So that should help for now. I also sprayed out the keyboard, even though, of course, I didn't really get it all, obviously. This keyboard's trashed anyway, so I may invest in a new one at some point. But again, as far as this hinge goes, I'm just going to try to tighten these screws up. It is also possible that the hinge is just worn out, being that this is a very old laptop, but keeping that in mind, I'm just going to try that real quick. It's pretty difficult to remove these without damaging them, but aside from that, I'm just going to go ahead and tighten this up a little bit. Yeah, that was a little bit loose. So I'm going to repeat the process on the other side as well and see how much that helps. Alright, so that seems to have helped a little bit. I mean, again, the hinge is just worn out from being old. What the hell is that? That's interesting. Yeah, the hinge is just a little bit worn out from being old. Other than that, that's about all I can do hardware-wise for now. That's about all I'm going to do anyway. Let's get to the fun part, installing the software. So, of course, I have a Windows XP disk that I burned a whole 7 years ago. So, yeah, we're going to use that. So let's get going. Alright, let's fire it up and see what she does. Of course, I'm going to go into F12 right away. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I want to try to see Control-Delete. Yeah. I'm going to go into the BIOS, see what it's got. Okay. Oh, it seems to have the newer BIOS. Nice. So, system info, nothing of interest there. It is a 1.6 Pentium M, of course. It has 2 megabytes of cache. As you can see, only 512 megabytes of RAM, so this is getting Windows XP for sure. It is DDR2. Okay, I definitely don't have any of that. So it's going to be stuck at 512 megs. Because actually, I may have two 512 meg sticks, which would bring it up to 1 gig. Though it's only DDR400. I think what I have is 533. I'm not sure if that'll work. But yeah. Intel 915M graphics. Okay, pretty standard stuff for the time. 120 gig hard drive, which is nice. The battery's screwed. Well, actually, it says it's performing normally, so maybe it works. Other than that, that's going to be pretty much it. Let's go ahead and Control-Delete again and go into the boot menu. Well, actually, no, let me just turn it off first because I haven't put the disk in. Let's start there. That's better. Now we're getting somewhere. Good old Windows XP install screen. Be back when it's pretty much finished. Alright, so I looked through my RAM stash of my SODIMMs here, and this is basically what I came up with. So we have one Samsung stick. Obviously these are all 512 megs, so it doesn't really matter which set I use, but I have a couple options. I got Micron, I got Hynix, and I got Nanya RAM, so one Samsung module as well. So hopefully, well, it doesn't really matter. So this machine is going to have about a gig of RAM either way. So yeah, I'm going to stick one of these in after the install is done, and that'll be the first upgrade for it. Alright, so we're up and running. As you can see here, again, same thing, 1.6 Pentium M, 512 megs of RAM. That fan is going crazy, so it's going to need a repaste, but I'll do that another day. Of course, the screen is 1280 by 800, so we're running that. No drivers currently installed, so I'm going to be using this flash drive because I know I have a bunch of drivers for old Dell laptops on this. I don't think I have anything specific for the Inspiron 6000, but a lot of Dell's drivers are cross-compatible, so I should have enough drivers to get this thing going. So I'm going to try that, and I'm also going to install this RAM. I just chose this one because this is the RAM that came out of my 1501. So it's going to be a little bit of a tribute, or I guess, or it's gonna, the 1501 is going to live on in this computer, I suppose. Well, I initially wondered why tape was over this USB port, but now I know the port is absolutely screwed. So, okay, that makes sense. I just plugged my flash drive in and the computer shut down because it shorted out. So, yeah, I guess I should have looked before I did that, but it didn't seem to hurt it. So. Okay, point taken. Now I'm going to try installing all these drivers. Alright, so while I'm copying my files, since they were on the wrong flash drive, and the other flash drive I have is formatted exFAT, which isn't supported in Windows XP, long story short, I have to copy it to that other flash drive I had. I decided to put the RAM in. This is what came out of it. Of course, 256 megs, one-sided SODIMMs here. I put 1 gig in, so that's why I got the memory message. But so we now have 1 gig of RAM instead of 512 megs. So there you go, free upgrade. With that said, I think I'm going to cut this video short right here because installing drivers isn't really exciting. So I'm pretty much just going to stop here. The Inspiron 9200 I will do another video about in the future when I feel like messing with it, but it's getting pretty late here and I want to edit this and upload it for you guys. So I'm just going to cut the video here. The Inspiron 6000, of course, is now up and running, finally. I just need to install the drivers, like I said, and there we go. There is another laptop to add to my ever-growing collection. So I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.